Across the vast autumn sky, thousands of birds were flying south. But among the rhythm of beating wings and drifting clouds, one small bird lost her way. This is the story of Leela, a fragile little bird who dared to follow her own path, and how sometimes getting lost is the only way to find the sky that truly belongs to you. Across the autumn sky, thousands of wings stretched wide, heading south. The sound of their flapping merged into a steady rhythm, like the heartbeat of the heavens. Among the great flock was a small bird named Leela, weaker, slower, always doing her best to keep up. Every day, Leela flew in the V formation, the right distance, the right direction, the right rhythm. But that day, the wind changed. A small storm began to brew on the horizon. The sky grew dim, and clouds twisted into spirals. The flock cried out in alarm, struggling to keep formation. Leela wobbled her young wings, too frail to fight the wind. A sudden gust hit hard, and in an instant, she was swept away from the others. When Leela awoke, she was surrounded by thick, white fog. No familiar calls, no known flight path, only silence and a sky heavy with gray. She tried calling out, "Everyone! I'm here!" No answer. Fear crept in, cold as the wind brushing past her feathers. She thought about stopping, finding shelter, waiting for the flock to come back. But how long would that take? Who would even know to look for her? Then a small thought flickered in her mind. If I'm lost, why not try finding my own way? Leela began flying toward the sun. She didn't know if that was truly south, but at least the light felt warm. On the first day, she crossed an endless forest. On the second, she flew through a valley filled with mist. Her wings ached, her body trembled with exhaustion. But still, she flew on. By the third day, when she was nearly spent, the sky suddenly opened before her. A vast green land, stretching to the horizon. Soft grass, clear streams, and air warm with life. Leela landed on a branch, breathing heavily. She looked around. She had never seen a place so beautiful. Friendly, unfamiliar birds flew by. One large bird asked, "Where did you come from?" Leela whispered, "I got lost." The big bird smiled. "Then you're lucky. Not everyone who loses their way finds paradise." In the days that followed, Leela grew familiar with her new land. She learned how to find food, how to ride the warm winds, and sometimes she looked up at the sky without fear. Every evening, as the sunset painted her wings gold, Leela thought of her old flock. Maybe they were still flying, still following the same path. But she knew, if she hadn't been separated that day, she might never have discovered how wide the sky truly was. One morning, Leela heard a familiar sound, the calls of migrating birds. She looked up. It was her flock. The whole group froze when they saw Leela flying toward them, stronger, brighter than ever. The lead bird called out, "Leela, you're alive?" Leela smiled, her wings beating with confidence. "I'm not just alive. I've flown farther than I ever dreamed." The flock marveled. From that day on, they changed their route, following the direction Leela showed them. The journey was longer, but the skies were more beautiful, the lands richer, and the flight more meaningful than ever before. Message: in life, Sometimes we become the lost bird. We stray from the familiar path, separated from the crowd. At first, it feels frightening, but in that moment, we're given a chance to test our wings, to see new horizons we'd never notice if we only followed the flock. Being lost is not failure. Sometimes, it's life's way of showing us our own direction, so that when we return, we do so stronger, braver, and freer, like a bird that has once flown through the storm. Thank you for listening to The Lost Bird. May you always find your own sky and never stop flying. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind us what it means to be alive.